So welcome to everyone again, and we are at the second half of our practitioner afternoon, and this is the Asian practitioners time. I am Carlo, and I am under the technical services for Asia. 我是马勒博士，青春期里亚洲, and I greet you, good afternoon, 下午好. This afternoon, we are going to find out how do practitioners in Asia control PRRS. Is it similar or is it different from what they do in the US? And basically, to start off, our first speaker, he is from Malaysia. He will talk about PRRS control in Malaysia. He is a doctor of veterinary medicine, graduate from the University of Putra, Malaysia, with a PhD from the University of Glasgow in the US. He is a senior lecturer for 5 years in his alma mater, and he is a technical advisor of the Federation of Livestock Farmers Association and the National Agriculture Training Advisors Committee in Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us welcome Dr. Peck Toung.
Okay. Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Carlos, for the wonderful introductions. 大家下午好. I'm Peck Toung from Malaysia. First of all, I'd like to give thanks to the organizing committee for inviting me to come here to share my experience of PRRS in Malaysia. My outline of topic is divided into 3 portions, which is about Malaysia pig farm situations, PRRS status in Malaysia, and a case study that I come across. Before I start, I'd like to give thanks to my group and also my collaboration partner, my undergraduate and my postgraduate student, which is Dr. Ray Tan, Dr. Chia Zihe, Dr. Michelle Fong, and Dr. Vanya, Madams Miss C.C. Kok, Dr. Kam Kok Yen, Dr. Yong Si Ke from BI Malaysia, Mr. Chris Chew and Dr. Yu Ling from Agritech Malaysia. Without their hard work and effort together, we're not able to compile the data and present it here. First of all, Malaysia pig farm situations. Allow me to make some introductions of my own country. Malaysia is a country we have multi-race, multi-ethnic background, and different belief. About 61% of our countrymate is Malay, 24% of our countrymate is Chinese, followed by 8% of Indians, and 7% of others, which includes Iban, Kalazan, and some small minority. There's another special feature about Malaysia as well. It's about our variety in food and the unique in the food. 100% of us, we consume chicken, and 65% of us, we don't consume pork due to the religion belief, and 25% of us, we don't consume beef due to Hinduism and Taoism. And most of our farmers, up to 99%, are Chinese in origin. Yes, there's 1% of Indians. This is information gathered from Department of Veterinary Service Malaysia regarding the production, domestic consumption, and export of pork throughout the past 13 years. The consumer, about 9 million, because only 35% of Malaysian population consuming pork, and the standing pig population is standing around 1.4 million. The estimation per capita consumption is about 21.4%. There is no exportations after the incidence of Nipah virus outbreak. This is a Malaysia map, which is divided by the South China Sea into East Malaysia and West Malaysia. And there's a different states mentioned here, and this is the standing pig population in different states. Most of the pigs are located in Perak, which is about 460,000 pigs standing SPP there, and followed by Pulau Pinang, Johor, Selangor, Sarawak, and Sabah. A close-up map of the Peninsular Malaysia, all the farm area are concentrated at Pulau Pinang, Perak, Selangor, and Johor, and also Malacca. Also, which is state that have majority dominance of Chinese. The current status of the pig farm in Malaysia is that we have 772 farms, most of them concentrated in West Malaysia. The total standing pig population is 1.7 million, and we produce around 235,000 metric tons per year. The ex-farm value is estimated around RM Malaysia 2.2 billion. And after the Nipah virus outbreak, now is 100% for local self-consumption. So how does the Malaysia farm look like? Malaysia is a warm tropical country with a lot of rainfall every year, and the temperature is standing around 32 to 34 Celsius. So most of our farm, up to 90%, is open house, farrow to finish, and one side. We do have some small numbers of farms are closed house, about 10% or less. Which major they have closed house and for the farrowing crate, which is the sow and the piglets. Then I move on to the second topic, which is the PRRS status in Malaysia. As all of us know by now, PRRS is a disease characterized by latent reproductive failure in sow and gills, and also respiratory problems in piglets and growing pigs. Oops. Okay, as early as 1995, a syndrome very similar to PRRS has been reported by Prof. Henry Tu in various pig farms at Malaysia. And a recent study carried out in 50 farms, 94% of the farms and 83.4% of the pigs were tested positive for PRRS antibody using an ELISA survey. No other update information is available. With the help of BI assistance, a local study was carried out early this year. 120 serial samples was collected from 12 farms located in 6 states for serial prevalence study, test using IDEX HealthCheck ELISA. From the result that we obtained, all the farms were seropositive, with an overall serial prevalence rate of 89.2%. We further to collect the tissue samples for nested PCR with the primers published targeting the ORF7 to differentiate type 1 and type 2 PRRS. From the result we obtained, all the positive samples are indicating type 2 PRRS. There are more US strains in the result that we obtained. It might be due to the tendency of Malaysia, we tend to import semen and balls from the United States. Or there is another reason behind, it might be due to the number that we collect for this study is quite low, and possibilities of presence of both US and EU strain together at the same farm. Now I move on to the last portions of study, which is a case study that I come across. It's a farm that I visit with students, and they have 500 sow farms with major complaints of high return estrus, high pre-wean mortality, and small litter size. After identifying it as a PRRS-related issues, we recommend the farm to carry out PRRS vaccinations. And the farm take our advice and start using PRRS MLV vaccines from August 2011. This is the vaccination schedules that the farm practice. For breeding herds, they use for the gilts, they use 2 injections of Ingervac vaccines before mating with 1 month intervals. For sow vaccinations, they use mass vaccinations every 3 months, including the balls. For the piglets, they practice day 18 within day 21. They use the Ingervac PRRS vaccines. Day 22nd to 24, they use flex combo and a swine fever. Day 49, another injections of swine fever, and day 77, and Ojaski vaccinations. Bear in mind that the swine fever they practice is a local product, and the Ojaski vaccines is another company. After that, we try to obtain more information about the farm health status and focus on 4 parameters, which is the return estrus, the litter size, the weaning weight, and also the pre-wean mortality. With the help of the vets and also the farm, we managed to gather the data and we brought out a bar chart. The yellow color indicates the period that the farm haven't had any vaccinations, which stand for no vaccines. The green bar is the transition periods when they start introduce of the vaccinations in August, about 4 months. After that, the blue bar is the time that where the farm is, the whole farm is vaccinated for the PRRS MRV vaccines. For the return estrus, we can see there's a tremendous drop in the return estrus problems from 27% to 17%. There is a slight increasement for the litter size as well, which they tend to have bigger litter size of 9.84 compared to 9.11 before the vaccinations. For the weaning weight as well, the farm managed to gain 1 kilo after they start using the PRRS vaccinations, from 5.95 to 6.96. The pre-wean mortality also dropped from 11.5 to 10.21. The farm are showing a significant improvement, and the disease problems and other issues also are quite easily under control. It would be nice that we gather more information and more data to share. However, after April 12, the farm suffered from serious mycotoxins issues due to the feed contaminations that caused high abortion rate and return estrus. Therefore, the data they obtained was, it can't be reliable. Besides that, the farm biosecurity is still another major issue, like the previous speaker has mentioned. Biosecurity is another important key factor in controlling PRRS, because this farm, due to its layout, that enable easy access to the nursery units. This is, you can see the picture here, is where is their loading bay, and next to the loading bay is their nursery unit. So the loading bay for the lorry will have easy access to their nursery pens. Malaysia has access to wild boar meats as is abundant in our country. Therefore, it's a tendency that people tend to hunt down the wild boars and eat them and consume the wild boar's meats as well. With the help of Department of Wildlife and National Park Malaysia, early this year, we do carry out some wild boar health status examinations, and this is my postgraduate student, Dr. Ray Tan, examining and playing with the wild boar carcass. This is the hunter. From the samples that we obtained, about 44 samples collected from several locations, we found that 3 samples were positive for PRRS, and is indicating type 2 PRRS. Although up to today, there is no information of wild boar breach into the domestic farms, however, wild boar has been seen wandering around the domestic farms areas. Therefore, wild boar might serve as a vector for PRRS transmissions within the Malaysia farms. Of course, there are other more important issues, such as the widespread of PRRS in Malaysia may be due to the low awareness among the farmers about the importance of PRRS, and only about 30% of the farmers, they really practice PRRS vaccinations. In addition, Malaysia, we tend to use a common transport and personnel for porker between different farms, and this may be contribute to the introductions of PRRS into naive farm. To better control and prevent this disease, it's strongly recommended that we need to increase the farm biosecurity and also the movement control within the farm. Vaccinations is another very important key factors, and also the raise the awareness among the farmer, the important to control the disease. With that, I'd like to acknowledge my teammate and my collaboration partner that's involved from Birmingham, Ingham, Malaysia, Agritech Enterprise, and UPM undergraduate and my postgraduate students. That's all for my presentation today, and 谢谢.
Thank you very much, Dr. Uy. That's very interesting. Very interesting that we should have some questions for Dr. Uy. Let me see some show of hands, dear Asians. Let me fire the first question, Dr. Uy. That was an interesting control case study. Did you do a computation of the return on investment or ROI?
I'm sorry that we didn't really do a ROI return of interest about that study, but based on the observations, the farm showed tremendous improvements before the outbreak of the mycotoxin issues, which the disease problems and the farm performance also are getting better, and the farmers are happy with the vaccinations result.
Any other with the question? Yes.
Did, on the 2012 abortion storm, did you look for a different PRRS virus that could have gotten in there? Did you sequence the PRRS virus, or what kind of mycotoxin did you find?
You're referring to the 2011, the abortion storm? Is it 2012 abortion storms, the reason happened?
You said you had mycotoxins, and did he try to sequence PRRS at the same time, or did they get...
In your outbreak case, did you do sequencing of PRRS, genetic sequencing?
For the outbreak cases, we didn't carry out a sequence of the PRRS, and from later we found that it's linked with the mycotoxins problems, and there is a high fumonisin problems in the feed. Then after they changed the mycotoxins binders and the providers, the conditions come under control.
Any other questions for Dr. Uy? Dr. Duran.
Dr. Uy, did you test the boars, the wild boars, for other diseases? Because we have experience from other countries that Odesky's disease and others are carried by wild boar also.
Yes, we do carry out some studies on the wild boar itself, and initially we speculate the wild boars will be quite high in classical swine fever. However, the wild boar is free from classical swine fever, but we found that the wild boars are positive for PCV2.
So if there are no more questions, let's give a round of applause for Dr. Uy Peck Toung. Thank you very much, Doctor.